Hello and welcome everyone to another painting live streaming. We are Big Tech Creatives and my name is Ruben Martinez. I will continue with the painting process of Longspan and Kitti, as you probably know if you follow our previous live streamings. And today is the turn for the base. The scenario kit that I will use for make an ambience and a scene for the characters is a very important part in the miniatures. So I will focus this time in doing some cool effects onto a simple base that I took from the previous pieces of our latest Kickstarter, but you can do it in whatever you can scratch or build for your own miniature. So stay tuned, because I think this is very interesting and very important part, as I said, in the miniatures. But before starting, I want to introduce you another special guest. As you probably know, this weekend you unlock another character for the campaign. This is the quartermaster of the crew, and as you can see, is gorgeous. This time is sculpted by Ivan Santurio de la Uz, and the painted version is not here in the studio, but Marko Miladinovic did the painted version for this character. You can check it in the Kickstarter. So we hope you like it, and of course, this is another character for the ones that pledge in the Mogul pledge. So I think at this point, I don't know, but maybe you can get 7 miniatures in this pledge, and more to come. We are near from the king. This is the bigger one in the campaign. And we are very close, so we hope that in the following hours you can unlock this great stretch goal for you. So let's talk more paint. Now I will start with the base for Longspan and Kitti. Okay, so let me see your comments. Okay, hello to everyone. I'm reading your comments, so feel free to ask me whatever you want, as in the previous live streaming, about the painting process, the campaign, the characters of the campaign, whatever you want. Feel free to do that. As usual, many friends showing us. Hello, Fabrizio. Rusto was painted another version for the Kickstarter, as you probably know, the version of this character, but better painted than that. This is a quick sketch that I did, but his version is awesome. Congrats, Rusto. Nice to see you there. Of course, if you want to, yeah, you are right, Audrey. Nice to see you there too. As in the previous live streaming, you can check that my English is not the best of the world, so I'm trying to do my best. But if you want to ask me something in English or in Spanish, is good for me. Así que, traduciéndome a mí mismo, si queréis preguntarme también en español, estaré encantado de responderos en español también, que de hecho se me da mejor que en inglés. Okay, so to start with the base, I want to show you a new friend of the black sailors. That this one is called Scully, and is not in the campaign in the Traders of Kobberland, but you can find it in the new releases of Beachside. I want to show you this character because maybe he's not a friend of the dwarves, because he is a troll, okay? But I want to show you the things that I'm going to do in the base for Longspan Kitti. So as you can see in the base of Scully, you see this effect of the paint, the scratched paint over the wooden floor of the ship. Okay, at the end, all of them are pirates, and we love to make this kind of bases. So this is the thing that we will do for Longspan Kitti. Okay, so say goodbye to Scully. He is going to eat some dwarves. And let's start. For the color, I will change the color of the base because, as you probably know, the factions of the Traders of Kobberland, they are northern people, so in order to change and give some variety from the black sailors ones, we will paint this base in a more cold tone. We will use some colder tone than red, and maybe some bluish tone, more turquoise, I think. I want to use for this some paints that from our friends of Amo of Mid Jimenez, okay? So in order to paint the base, we will use these colors that are special designed for painting miniatures, because they have a huge catalog of materials for paint, tanks, airplanes, and so on. But these paints are special designed in order to paint miniatures. Covers very well, have beautiful tones, and the way in that they are smoother with the brush is very, very good. So, and for the finish is a finish, a flat finish, okay? So I will use some blue, some yellow, okay? As you probably know at this point, I love to work with primary colors in order to mix them to achieve my wanted color. I prefer to work in this way. Hi Margot, nice to see you there. I was talking about you a few moments ago. Okay, and maybe a little bit of green, because if I mix this blue and this yellow, sorry, you can see the colors with the logo, don't worry. Okay, so to start, I will mix my base color, mixing this blue. I will use a bigger mix in order to cover the whole surface, and I will add a little bit of yellow in order to achieve a turquoise tone. Okay, that's this. It's a little bit bright, so I will use a little bit of red in order to make it darker. Okay, I will use another blue. We don't have the whole range of the paints from Amomig, but it's not a problem. We can mix with other branches like the Chimera colors, as we did in the previous live streaming, and I will use this blue. It's more dark, as you can see, and I again will mix some yellow. And I will combine these colors until I achieve the tone that I want. I'm near. Okay, let's try this. So, to begin with, I will cover the whole surface, okay? It's very fun and easy to make. No worries about nothing. So, the only thing you need is to cover all the surface. This is the look like the ship of the dwarves was new, something like that. But later we will scratch the surface in order to look more older. The other day, someone told me the word to say that, but I don't remember the word right now. Okay. I will need to make more of this mix. Para decir envejecido. Rusty. No, creo era otra palabra. Roído o algo así. Bueno. Okay, I will do more of this mix. Or something like that. Roído, envejecido, desgastado. Era la palabra que estaba buscando. Scratched. Okay, that's the word. Okay, I'm redoing my mix with the same colors because I did a little bit, and I apply the color in the same way. Okay. It's very fun to paint the bases for your miniatures, and as I said before, is an important part of the miniature because with the base you can make an ambience for your miniature and a scene. You can tell an history because the most part of the miniatures are simply a character posing, doing almost nothing. So with the base, you can place the character in a place and tell some history. Of course, I'm doing this base like an example for you. This is a very, very simple base, but you can go further, whatever you want, or as much as you want, better said. How it's going? Nobody says nothing. I know that it's Monday, but it's not the end of the world. Or maybe yes. Today in Madrid was raining, yeah? A few moments ago was raining. After all of the days of so warm temperature, and today it starts to rain. The world is going to the shit. If somebody tells you that is not true, don't believe it. Okay, this is my first coat, and as you can see, don't worry if when I did another mix, I didn't achieve the same color. It's more tonal richness in the base. Sorry for the noise. I will use a hair dryer to speed the process, as you can see. Perfect. And for the next step, I will blackline the deepest places of the base. Okay. So for that, I will use a very, very dark color, mixing blue and red. Okay. As you can see in the previous live streaming, you can use black, but at the end, if you do that, it's almost the same. And for you, in the screen, you will see that it is true. This is my black. And little bit difference between those tones. So you can use whatever you want. But I found that using blue and red has a lot of color deepness. Okay, so with this color, I will paint between the pieces of wood in this way. And with this, I will achieve the definition of the elements of the base. Easy? As you can see, you can make good bases without spending so much effort. And I think this is a good part of the process. So do this always in your miniatures. Hola, José Luis. Lo siento. Bueno, normalmente hago los streamings en inglés porque creo que es más internacional y creo que más gente nos podrán entender. Si tienes alguna duda, no dudes en preguntarme y te lo contesto en español, ¿eh? No te preocupes. Que no sea porque se me dé bien el inglés, pero bueno, creo que es muy interesante para la gente que nos ven allende las fronteras. También creo que el proceso es bastante visual. No estoy haciendo demasiadas cosas que no se entiendan a simple vista. Hay veces que una imagen vale más que 1000 palabras. Eso, vamos, no lo digo yo, es una frase que está por ahí dicha. Pero bueno, en cualquier caso, si no entiendes algo, pregúntame, por favor. For this part, maybe you need to dilute your mixes a little bit in order to the paint can flow more easily in the recesses. Okay, here a little bit. You don't need to be very careful in this step. Because later I will refine the result. And at the end I will make a scratch base. So I will get all the lines Okay, I almost finished. Is the quality of the image right? You can see it well? Today I will be able to put the camera more apart from me, so you can maybe see better the wet palette and the base. Okay, so I'm done. At this point I have the base painted and all the pieces black lined in order to define better the structure of the base. So I will apply some light to this part of the blue paint. To apply those light I will use the previous mixes and I will add more yellow, okay, and a little bit of white or some color that has some white, like for example this one is a warm skin tone, but it's good for me because has some yellow, some some white. It's a bright color, so for sure will be okay for me. It's the same that, almost the same that adding pure white. And with this mix, I will highlight the paint of the good in this way. I will mark some stripes simulating the looks of the good, more or less, something like that, making some kind of texture. Again, you don't need to be very precise. This is more fun than you think. I will need to make a brighter color because I think that is a little bit brighter than the base. Hello, Julian. Welcome. Okay. I need a brighter color, so I will use some ivory. It's almost white. Okay. This will give me the punch of light that I need. Let's try. Okay, this one is more brighter. You can see how this color defines the surface. Okay, and in the edges I will insist with this effect. Okay, I will continue with the rest of the pieces. This way that you can see is not difficult. If you want to make real good, it's something similar but changing the colors. Don't use blue, use browns, different browns, and you will achieve something similar. You can draw, make some patterns like this, okay? This is the part that maybe took me more time because I'm making the texture for the wall surface. But the next step are more fast, I think. It's similar than that with the process of the miniature, as you can show in the previous live streaming. I know that maybe this live streaming is not important for the ones that like to paint bust. And it's true that some people don't like to make this kind of works on the bases. But I suggest you that you will try these kind of things. Spend some time making your bases. Okay, I'm almost finished this step. I make in some parts some stripes, diagonals, in order to make more variety on my texture. By the way, I don't know if there's any bakers, sorry, seeing this, but do you like the quiz game that we launched for you? We think that it was funny. It isn't. Okay. Okay, so I'm done with this first layer of texture, and you can add more layers. Sorry. Okay, I'm back again. I went to an very old brass, as you can see. This has this hair totally destroyed, and a piece of spunk, okay, from a blister of a miniature. And you can make additional scratches on your miniature. You can make this kind of effects. Trying to be random with these things, okay? I'll try to accumulate in this part, and this part not too much, okay? For example. And almost the same with the old brass. You can make some texture, different textures to reinforce these other ones. You can change the color. In this point, you can add additional colors. Yeah, why not? This way. And as I did with the sponge, I'll try to be random. Okay, so let's dry. And I'll start to add some tones, okay? in order to clean the paint, the surface, make more smoother. For this kind of tones I will use a variety of them. I will choose some purple. This is already a violet. I will use purple for that better, because I already use this purple or something similar in my miniature. You see that in the feathers of Kitty I'll add some purple, so for my base this purple will work as the same, of course, with the beak that has some orange, and Longspan have some orange, so orange will work on this base, and magentas for sure, because in the skin have some magentas and so on. So you can use additional tones in order to enhance the color of your base. I'm mixing a variety of tones, okay? And I will start to apply them randomly and very, very diluted, okay? This way. And before one gets dried, I apply the next one. This way, as you can see. This will add more vibrance of the colors in my base. In this way. So you can play with the watery down paint until you are happy, but you need to know that the appearance of the paint changes when it's dry. So you need to experiment a little bit in order to get comfortable with this method, with this technique. Okay, but don't worry. You can redo some of the steps, the previous steps. I will dry a little bit in order to be more quick. Okay, so our base looks in this way, in this step. So let's check how it's look with the miniature. As you can see, there are common colors, so I think that we are going in a good way. All fits perfectly. So after this part of making some tones with very watery paint, I need to redo some of the definition of the wood. Okay, so for this I will use this bright color. Okay, and I'll start to make these highlights in the tips of each part in this way, as you can see. Doing this, I will recover the definition that I lost in the previous step. Okay. And you can redo some linings inside the wooden parts of the floor in this way, making those shiny lines. And I will insist that I did before in the edges. In these parts, in the edges of the tables. No, of the tables? This is not the word, I think. So as you can see, I'm building again the wooden texture of the paint, making teeny stripes in this way. I'm adding here some long lines, okay? And I think until this point, no steps was so difficult in order to make them. So don't be afraid to try that. It's more easy than paint the miniature itself. Okay, one trick in order to gain some time. You must think that the main character was in this part, so you don't need to work a lot onto this part. So keep this in mind in order to advance more quickly. Hello to the newcomers, welcome. We are in the middle of the process, but don't worry, because many interesting things left to do in this base. We are painting the base for our character. Longspan Kitti is the scout of the crew, of the Traders of Kobberland. And if you maybe don't know, we are right now live on Kickstarter. So if you want info, you can Google that, and you can see these things and many more surprises. We are near to unlock the big guy of the crew, the king. So we need your support in order to make it happen. We think that you will love it. Okay, this part is more, I need to be more precise, so I'm going slower, but I think that is needed in order to make a good work. Creating the texture, this kind of wooden texture, painted wooden texture for the floor. I love these effects for the pirates ships, but you can create your own bases. Maybe you can imagine your character in the beach or in a tavern. In fact, the dwarves likes to be in the tavern, so maybe you can put your dwarves in the tavern drinking some beer. And as you probably guessed, the floor of the tavern, you can do that in this way. But as I said before, you only need to change the colors that I used, and using more brownish ones, you achieve the same texture and finish for your tavern of dwarves. So I hope that this live streaming will be helpful for you and give you some ideas or inspiration for doing these kind of things. Of course, let us know if you go on this way. Okay, so for me, the wooden floor is ready. You can spend more time refining this, but I think at this point this is very cool, very okay. And for the next step, I will add some chipping to the wood in order that you can see the real wood beneath the blue paint. Okay? Is good? Who is looking for you? Hello KW, nice to see you again. I love to see many people from other live streaming, so we are becoming a little family right now. Okay, simply I will redo my black lining in order to get a more defined appearance over the base. Okay, So for that I will do again these lines a little bit, some of them, in this way, easy and quick. And now I have a more defined work. Always we look for definition in miniatures because the eye is not used to see things in this smaller size. So you need to make things easier for the eye, okay? This is why I'm talking always about definition. Okay, so at this point we have the base in this way. So for the next step I want to make this chipping that you can see in this other base. Say hello again to Scully. Hello. And I want to show you what is the chipping that I'm talking about. You can see the wood beneath the red paint here. Okay, so I will make something similar in the base for Longspan Kitti. Okay, in order to do that, I will use, okay, I already put some black here. I will use black with a little bit of blue, but in any ways a very, very dark color, okay? I will use some red in order to make it more warmer, not only pure black. And I will start to make in the bordes. ¿Cómo se dice bordes? Edges. Thank you very much. In the edges. In the edges of these pieces, I will make some scratches in this way. You can see? Some dots, some lines, something very random. In this way. Lines, again, here again, some lines, dots in this case, but try to be the more random that you can with this. Not only in all the edges, leave some edges without that. Here, for example, a little bit, some dots, in this way. Here in this part I will add a lot of more of this effect. I cover this part almost in white, in black. Some dots, some lines again, and so on. In this way, it's very funny to do that, because when you paint a miniature, you always are worried, because I need to be very precise and these kind of things. But here is the opposite. You need to lose your hand. Okay? This way, here a little bit, and maybe here a very huge part of this kind of black. This way, very black. Here the same, I will add a little bit more, huge part, this color. This part means that is a lot of more chipped than the others. And in these edges, a little bit. Some parts only a little bit needed, not too much. You can play with your brush, you can paint with the tip or with the side of the body. Here, this way. You see? Okay. Thank you, Michelle. I'm glad that you like it. It's very easy, so give it a try. Try it at your home and let me know what happens. Okay, so for this step, I have all that I need. So the next step, I will start to add the wood below the paint, the blue paint. So I will use some wooden color. This is perfect, not too dark, not too bright, so burnt sand from Amomig will be perfect in order to achieve this wooden color that I'm talking about. So I will pick this one and I'll start to paint inside the black part that I marked before. But this time I will start to do some teeny stripes in this way, simulating the texture of the wood. Okay? You see it? In this way, making these teeny lines, some dots, of course, in order to create some wooden texture. And don't paint outside the black parts. Maintain this as a shape for these parts, okay? In this way. Yeah? Easy? Yeah, I think this is very easy. So I will do the same with the other parts that I covered with black before. This way. And you start to see how the wood flow. Okay. I'll try to don't left any parts. Okay, so this is the point that I want to reach for this step. You can see how I build the texture for the wood. So the only thing that you need is to spend more time than me in order to build the texture better. But I think you can get the idea to do these kind of things. And how to paint textures on your miniatures. I think to paint textures is very funny. But keep this in mind, you don't need to replicate the texture like in the real life you will see it if you can amplify the texture on the miniature. You need to simulate the texture on the miniature. It's more easy. Hello Lucas, nice to see you there again. Wow, the great Masclans. Hello Mark. Hola Cristian, qué bueno verte también a ti. Hello Luke. Don't worry, I'll extend a little bit the live streaming, because as you probably know, this is my last live streaming painting Longspan Kitti. But don't worry, because if you like it, I will do more of this. And chatting with you. Okay, so I almost finished to this first step of chipping. And the next steps is almost the same, but the only thing that I need to do is to make brighter this color of the chipping. Believe me, this is so funny. Okay. So, in order to make more light on this chipping, I will use a brighter color. Is this one? Okay. So this will brings me the final light, I think. Let's try it. Yes. And I apply it very carefully in the edges. This way. In order to achieve, as I said before, more definition, always more definition. And you can do some lines, some dots, and make a variety on your texture. As easy as this. Don't you think so much where your brush is painting? Paint is all this. Oops. Thanks, Luke. Glad that you like it. It's not too difficult, I think. Don't you think that? By the way, just to know, some of you are being all the days in the live streaming, and I want to know what is your favorite part of the process. Well, we are almost reaching to the end, and you can get the idea of how this looks at the end. This is quite repetitive, but it's the only way that you can achieve some cool things. There's no magic in painting miniatures. The best part of this is that you enjoy the process and the trip. If you want to paint something fast and looks cool, you are looking for magic, maybe. But I think that with some time that you invest, thank you, you can do great things. We spent with this base almost an hour and a half, I think. No, not yet, but something like that. And I'm happy with the result. What do you think? Okay, so I think this is almost done, and to end the chipping of the base, I will add some color touches very quickly in order to add some orange to the base. Why orange? Do you remember what I said before about the Longspan's bird? Yeah, the orange bird. Okay, so in order to give more coherence between the miniature and my base, I will add some orange in the base too. I will use common colors. And how I can add orange to the base? Easy. As you can see, we have in the base some nice nails. So I will add some rust in the head of the nails. So for that I will use this bright orange. That is the same that I used in the Longspan bird. As you can see, this is a nice frame for the miniature. So this means that I worked in a coherence way, making all together coherence, one between the other. Okay? You see it? Okay, so I will add the orange very diluted around the head of the nails. In this way. This is an old boat that travels to far lands, far away. So this makes sense. Maybe I can do some stripes of this rust. Okay, and as you can see, these touches of color will enhance the appearance of the base. I can't believe it. My phone sound. Okay, we are leaving. We are on the air, so this is normal, I think. So, with these touches of orange, I think that the base is almost done. So what do you think? Do you like it? Okay. Thank you very much to all of you for your nice comments. Yeah, KWB. We are going to make more videos for you, and seeing that you like it so much, we will prepare something for you in order to paint with you more days, because I'm spending a great time with you, and we need to repeat these kind of things. But don't forget that we don't suspend all the live streaming. So in the Friday, we will retook the painting live streaming with David Arroba, and maybe we will paint another character from the Kickstarter. So in the comments, if you have something special that you want to David paint, propose that to us. So we will be happy to take your considerations into account, and stay together in more live streamings like this one. So it was a pleasure for me to see you there these days, and I hope thank you very much again, and we hope that the next painting live streaming will be maybe with the king from the campaign. So finger crosses to see it unlocked in the following hours, and let's see what happens. Okay, so thank you very much to every one of you, and see you next time. That remember, stay tuned for the next Friday at the same hour like usual. So we hope to see you there. Bye bye, thank you very much.